recently got asked if Malta was still worth moving to. A few years ago, my answer would have been a resounding yes. Today, the answer is a lot more complicated, and that's because Malta has changed and changed fast. The cost of living has soared, the rules have tightened, and there are issues happening right now that almost nobody talks about until they're already in Malta and dealing with them.
Is it still worth moving to begin anew? Discover the answer.
So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what's actually changed, who Malta still works for, and the real problems you need to know about before you book that one-way ticket. First, let's set the context. Malta in 2026 is not the Malta of 2019 or even 2022. So let's start by what has actually changed over the last year or two. Number one, the population has exploded. We're talking about a tiny island which is now home to over 500,000 people. There's more people per square kilometre in Malta than almost anywhere in Europe. 1/3 of the population is now made up of foreigners. Number two, rents have doubled or tripled in some areas. A decent one-bedroom apartment, you're looking at 1,000 to 1,400 euros minimum in 2026, and that's if you can even find one. Number three, traffic and construction are relentless. This is well documented, and if you've been to Malta, you will already know this, but the fact is the traffic just continues to worsen year after year. Number four, new immigration rules for non-EU citizens have made things stricter. 2026 has seen the new pre-departure course and online interview come into effect for non-EU nationals, and this includes extra costs, more scrutiny, tougher requirements, and more paperwork. I recently did a video specifically about the new immigration rules for non-EU citizens, and the link for that is in the description. Look, Malta hasn't collapsed, it's matured, it's gotten more serious, it's tightened up, and that means it's not for everyone anymore. But let's be clear, Malta still has a lot going for it. It's an English-speaking EU country, and that's a rarity in itself. You can work, bank, access healthcare, and live your life without learning a new language from scratch. That said, it is, of course, always nice, polite, and respectful to learn at least some basic Maltese in order to help with integration. Malta is relatively safe, with violent crime being extremely low. You can walk around at night and kids can play outside. The job market is pretty strong if you're in the right sector. Finance, healthcare, IT, and hospitality, there are real opportunities here, especially for skilled workers, but be aware that salaries are still modest compared to elsewhere in Europe. The lifestyle in Malta can be fantastic. You've got the sea, the sunshine, a social scene, and if you want weekend trips to Sicily or Rome, Malta ticks the box if you value that Mediterranean lifestyle. For EU citizens, it's even better. No work permits, no visa stress, full access to public services, and with a much easier relocation process when compared to non-EU nationals. And for retirees, many of them absolutely do thrive in Malta. Stable income, lower taxes, warm weather, and good healthcare, especially if you go private. Malta can be perfect for that stage of life. Remote workers earning in euros or dollars can also still do very well. If your income isn't tied to the local salary scale, you're in a much stronger position. So yes, if you come prepared with realistic expectations, Malta can still definitely be worth it in 2026. Now here's where I need to be honest with you. If you're coming on a low salary, let's say under 1,500 euros a month net, Malta is going to be hard. Your rent alone could eat over half of that. Add food, transport, utilities, and other essentials, and you're going to struggle. If you're expecting cheap Mediterranean living, you're about 10 or so years too late. Malta is expensive now, and 2026 will only see the cost of living rise further. With that said, Malta is still more affordable than most of Northern and Western Europe, with most of the key savings coming from the fact there is no council tax or TV license, and with cheaper overall heating bills. For non-EU citizens, there are extra layers of difficulty that people don't talk about enough. Let me give you 3 examples that are happening right now. First, banking. If you're non-EU, opening a bank account can be a nightmare. Some banks just say no, even if you have a work permit, while others will take months to open an account. And you really do need a bank account for everything: salary, rent, bills. I've seen people stuck for 3 months just trying to get an account opened. Second, schools. If you have kids, listen carefully. International schools such as Verdela and QSI can have wait lists that are now 1 to 2 years long in 2026. People are arriving in Malta and finding out there's literally no space for their children, and private schools charge 8,000 to 15,000 euros per year per child. If you're not prepared for that, you're in trouble. Third, healthcare. Yes, Malta has public healthcare, but the wait lists can be months long, even for specialists. Most expats end up paying for private insurance anyway, and that means an extra 100 to 300 euros per month on top of everything else. Then there's the rental market, and I need to say this plainly. There is discrimination. If you're not from the EU, especially if you're from certain countries, you will encounter landlords who ghost you, agents who ignore you, or listings that say Europeans only. It's real, and I know this because I've seen it for myself. And so, yeah, you need to be aware of this. The driving license situation is another potential trap. If you're non-EU, you have 12 months to convert your license, but the trouble is that appointments are now booking up to 6 months out. If you ignore or forget to make an appointment regarding the driving license in your first few months, there's a risk you'll miss that window. Miss the deadline and you'll have to retake everything. And public transport in Malta is not reliable enough to depend on, well, at least not in the busiest periods of summer. And then there's just the island itself. It's small, it's crowded, it's noisy. If you need nature, space and quiet, well, Malta will feel suffocating. Some people love the energy and the vibe, but others don't and can't wait to leave. None of this makes Malta bad. It just means Malta is not universal and it isn't for everyone. So let's cut through the noise. Who should still consider Malta? You're a retiree with stable income. You can afford private healthcare. You're not dealing with work permits. You want sunshine and safety. Malta can be great for you. You're a remote worker earning solid money abroad. You're not competing with local salaries. You can afford rent and you get to enjoy the lifestyle perks. You're a skilled EU citizen, no visa stress, strong job market and full access to services. You're in the best position. Now for the cautions. Are you a non-EU national without strong employer support? If so, proceed carefully. The admin, the costs, the housing bias, it adds up fast. Are you expecting low-cost living or you're on a tight budget? Malta might not be realistic for you right now. Do you have kids and haven't secured school spots yet? I'd highly recommend you do not move until that's locked down. How do you decide if Malta is right for you? Ask yourself, what's my realistic monthly budget? Not aspirational, but realistic. Can you cover 1,200 plus euros rent and 300 plus euros in food, utilities, insurance and transport? Am I EU or non-EU? Because your experience will be completely different. Am I coming short term or long term? If it's short term, Malta can be an adventure. Long term, you need to be sure because the novelty of Malta can wear thin for many after a few months of actually living there. I also have an earlier video about avoiding the holiday trap in Malta. Again, the link is in the description for that. What matters more, lifestyle or career? If it's lifestyle, Malta often delivers. If it's career growth or savings, think carefully. Am I flexible or do I get frustrated easily? Because Malta will test your patience. That's a given. The bureaucracy, the delays, the noise, it's all part of the Malta package. So is Malta still worth moving to in 2026? Here's my answer. Malta isn't worse than it used to be, not once you're settled and all formalities have been done. It's just more demanding and certainly more costly and bureaucratic than it used to be. If you come prepared with realistic expectations and a solid plan, Malta can still be a fantastic place to live. But if you come unprepared, underfunded, or you're expecting it to be easy, you're going to be in for a shock and likely to have a rough time. So yes, in conclusion, Malta can still be worth it in 2026, but only if you come with open eyes.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our website if you're looking for more information and resources about relocating to Malta, or if you want to book a video consultation or purchase one of our handy ebook guides. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.